Coming up on this semester's last edition of the Stony Brook News.
To be or not to be? For incoming freshmen looking to major in theater arts, it's the latter.
A Stony Brook professor is standing up to President Trump.
And we count down the best Stony Brook sports plays of this school year.
All that and more coming up on the Stony Brook News. Good afternoon, and welcome to this week's edition of the Stony Brook News. I'm Alicia Bermudez.
And I'm Jim Ferchland. Controversy is swirling around the Department of Theater Arts. Department Chair John Lutterby informed students in an email last week that theater arts will suspend admissions for any new students. Lutterby stated that theater arts minors and majors will graduate with their degrees, but the department will eventually become a service-only program and many faculty will be fired as a result. A petition in support of the department has already garnered over 1,300 signatures. Sasha Kopp, Dean of Arts and Sciences, just told Newsday, quote, "A decision on the department's future has yet to be reached," end quote. For 2 weeks, we at Stony Brook News have run into a stonewall while trying to interview Dean Kopp about coming program cuts. Budget deficits in the Department of Arts and Sciences are reportedly forcing Dean Kopp's hand, so look for the curtain to come down soon on other programs.
Speaking of money management, our special projects team traveled to Brooklyn to see how tax resistors are planning on protesting Donald Trump's budget plan.
New York native Andrew Newman still remembers what it was like tucking his 5-year-old son into bed on election night nearly 6 months ago.
I told him a bedtime story about going to Hillary Clinton's victory party, then I had to break the news in the morning.
The news? Clinton had lost, and business mogul Donald Trump was America's next president.
All we need is great ideas.
As thousands gathered in protest on the streets, Newman looked into a different approach.
I want to make a distinction between tax resistance and tax evasion. What I'm doing is taking money that I would pay towards taxes and redistributing it for the type of causes that I think this government is neglecting.
The idea came from an essay published nearly 2 centuries ago by American essayist Henry David Thoreau. Titled Civil Disobedience, Thoreau discussed his refusal to pay poll taxes in protest against the Mexican-American War.
Simply voting for the change or simply announcing one's opinion about it wasn't a sufficient measure in the face of these really egregious injustices. So by paying taxes, he felt he was implicated in these injustices, and that's why he refused to pay.
Newman already mailed in his taxes for this season, but tax resistance is a form of political protest that has caught the interest of many Americans since Thoreau, especially this year.
Because of Trump's election, and especially after the inauguration, there's been a lot of new interest in war tax resistance, or just people looking at their taxes and going, oh my, do I really want to send them to whatever's going to come out of this government.
Ben started withholding her income taxes in the early 1980s after growing up during the Vietnam War and deciding she didn't want her money being used for violence.
For me, it's part of it is just a protest to the government, and making that protest with money feels stronger than just the marches I do. And I do a lot of other things too, but somehow, put your money where your mouth is sort of makes sense to me.
But simply withholding money from the government isn't as easy as it sounds. Ben has been pursued and even interviewed by the IRS several times. Newman has also faced government backlash after talking about his plans for next tax season with British daily newspaper The Guardian in February.
I got a threatening letter that was actually sent to the university president, but I was CC'd on, talking about me going to federal prison. So it's not really pleasant reading, Andrew Newman, federal prison.
But after reaching out to groups like NWTRCC, Newman is confident in his choice for next tax season.
When you have to choose between, sort of a political decision and one that's necessary for survival, I think, the survival takes precedence. So I don't hesitate to think about breaking the law, in order to protest the destruction of the environment.
Maybe that's something we all should think about as commencement gets closer and we get ready to head out into the real world. For Stony Brook News, I'm Abigail Wolfenberger.
Now, I don't know about you, Alicia, but tax season hasn't really been nice to me.
Me either, but you know what has been nice? The weather. Let's turn it over to our ace weatherman, Craig Novak, who has the weather for this week. Craig?
Thanks, guys. Well, we had an awesome weekend, great weather for Roth Regatta, and the temperature got up to 85 on Saturday, so that was really nice. We won't be expecting any of that, though, the next coming week. Currently, the temperature is about 55 degrees. We do have some fog that's going to burn off later in the day. Temperature is rising up to the mid-60s today. As we go into our 7-day forecast, you can see tomorrow look more of the same, about 68 degrees tomorrow, and a rainstorm coming in on Friday, which may last into the weekend. But back to you guys.
Thanks, Craig. We had great weather at Roth Regatta on Friday, and also some great boats. Let's take a look at some of the best sights and sounds of one of Stony Brook's oldest traditions.
And we are off! Roth Regatta 2017, thank you for joining us.
That was awesome.
That boat is not looking so hot here. Tubman, Toscanini, and Benedict.
Start, look at them go. And we have a capsized boat here.
Yup.
This is a tight race.
This is a tight race.
You mentally prepared yourself to possibly be dunking in that water.
I've been ready since yesterday.
Yep, I didn't sleep all night. I was that excited.
Hey guys, so I'm here with Wolfie. Are you nervous at all about falling in? No, you're very confident?
Chaos, which means a lot more fun for us and for you guys at home. Again, a beautiful day. There is not a cloud in the sky. And Toscanini wins it.
Well, those were some great sounds and sights from Roth Regatta, but Kunal, what happened in sports this week?
Well, Jim, we've given top plays of the week before, but for our last show, we'd like to do something special. So here are your top 5 plays of the school year. And starting with number 5, we have Jake the Giant Petrus. He picks Ryan Jones's pocket in the 6'11", 280 Slovakian, leads the fast break and ends with the hammer. Get up, big fella. For play number 4, we have some women's lacrosse action against Marist this past February. Allie Kennedy finds Kylie O'Miller, who puts it between her legs for the goal. And for play number 3, it's Oh My Miller Part 2. Big sister Kylie goes behind the back with the pass to little sister Taryn, and she goes behind the back to get it into the back of the net against UNH. Play number 2 takes us to the gridiron. Joe Carbone lost one up to Cal Daniels, who does his best OBJ impression against Richmond. He's just 1 yard short of the touchdown. And last but not least, Luke Woodhouse. He draws 2 defenders, finds an open Ty Sturdivant, who beats the buzzer to complete the 21-point comeback against Albany. And this year was a big one for Stony Brook sports. We saw the debut of 2 new head coaches, the end of the men's tennis program, and the reinstatement of the women's swimming and diving team. But this year's biggest moment belongs to men's basketball. At halftime against the Binghamton Bearcats, Island Federal Credit Union Arena saw the return of the MAC. Jameel Warney, 3-time America East Player of the Year and current Texas Legends forward, had his jersey retired just a year after graduating. Now number 20 will hang in the rafters of the house that Jameel built. Last but not least, we have some lacrosse playoff action this weekend. Women's Lax will take on New Hampshire on Friday at Kenneth P. Laval Stadium in the first round of the America East Championship. The men's team will take on top-seeded Albany in the first round this coming Thursday. Now guys, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but Long Island grows some of the best lacrosse players in the country, like the old Miller sisters.
Well, also like that, Long Island grows some pretty fresh produce as well. 2 weeks ago, students took a green pledge at the annual Earthstock Festival, and Stony Brook is taking a green pledge of its own through a new farm share program. Our reporter Michelle Toussaint learned more about the program and got an early look at the harvest.
From farm to dining, that's what Campus Dining is now offering to the campus community. During the annual Earthstock Festival, Campus Dining promoted the university's community-supported agriculture program with Natural Earth Farms. This is all part of Stony Brook University's commitment to enhancing Eastern Long Island's agricultural industries through its Incubator and Agriculture Consumer Science Center. Through this program, the university aims to promote community agriculture along with offering a better alternative to the campus community. Earlier this month, Campus Dining hosted a kickoff event for the new program where we were able to meet with the owner of Natural Earth Farms.
You go into the supermarket and you buy any produce in there, the chances are it's a week to 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks old. When you buy from a local farm, the chances are or it's a day old or 2 days old. And there's a huge difference in the taste.
So we're here at Natural Earth Farms, the farm that will be providing produce for the Farm Share program. Though the growing process has already started, harvesting doesn't start until June. Anthony Penarello has been a farmer for most of his life, but created a farm of his own in 2008. He gave us a tour of his farm, along with a preview of what seawolves can be expecting.
This is a red butterhead lettuce. This is a romaine. These are some of our cole crops, cabbage, broccoli, kale, the lacinato kale there, and collards. We just took them out of our greenhouse to get accustomed to the change in temperature and environment. So in about 2 weeks, we'll be planting these out in the field.
The Farm Share program runs for 20 weeks from June through either late October or early November. Students and faculty will be able to sign up to receive either a half or full share of fresh, locally grown produce every 2 weeks. The cost of a half share costs $350, while a full share costs $550. In the meantime, Penarello is busy getting the field ready for the harvest. For Stony Brook News, I'm Michelle Toussaint.
Where is Dean Eklund? At the start of the semester, we committed to finding the truth behind Timothy Eklund's sudden departure as the Dean of Students here at Stony Brook. Our reporters have spoke to President Stanley directly, we filed a Freedom of Information Act request, and we've even sent reporters to his house. Still, there are a lot more questions than answers. But these are the facts. The university sent out an email stating that Timothy Eklund left the university to pursue other opportunities on January 20th. Our reporters found out that Eklund's last day was December 30th. Former Dean of Students Gerald Stein was called out of retirement to be the interim Dean of Students. Eklund still has not been hired anywhere else. We will continue to pursue this story past this semester and as long as it takes until we have the answers.
That's all the time we have for our final edition of the Stony Brook News. Tune in next semester. I'm Jim Ferchland.
And I'm Alicia Bermudez. Good luck on your finals, and I'll see you at commencement, Seawolves.